And Jessica Spiro is here today to talk about how we can reduce those numbers through diet and exercise and other lifestyle changes. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so what do we have here?
Yeah, so it's a very alarming news for a lot of people, but the good news here is that we can make a lot of changes in our diet and lifestyle to reduce our risk of hypertension or lower our blood pressure if we already have hypertension, as now half of Americans do have. So the first thing that your doctor may advise you to do is to cut back on sodium to less than 2,000 milligrams a day. To give you an idea, 1 teaspoon of salt is equal to 2,300 milligrams of sodium.
Wow.
And that's not even how most Americans are getting their sodium. It's really through processed foods, through pizza, soups, fast food, and also things that people don't even really think about, like soy sauce or ketchup. 1 tablespoon can have a couple 100 milligrams, so it really adds up.
So how do you eat your food and still enjoy it? Because it'll be so bland if you don't have some sort of
Exactly.
flavoring.
You're not destined to a bland diet for the rest of your life. Eat through spices, herbs. Great way to add some flavor without the salt. So Thanksgiving is next week. We've got sage, cinnamon, nutmeg, really wonderful ways that you can spice up your Thanksgiving dinner.
Without the salt.
Exactly.
Sugar.
Yeah, so sugar, salt is not the only culprit. There's a strong link between sugar and high blood pressure. And sugar, again, like in a lot of processed foods like salt, it is everywhere. So you really want to go back to basics and, choose carbs that are packed with nutrients, like fruits, vegetables, whole grains.
Come over here. Let's get some shots of these. Some of the grains that you're talking about are good.
So one nutrient in particular that you want to add more of is potassium. And the reason is that potassium works to counteract a lot of the effects of sodium. So if you have like a high salt meal, you may feel very bloated.
So what's potassium here?
So potassium we have in the kale, we've got in the squash actually. So that's a really wonderful thing you could do for Thanksgiving dinners, roast up some butternut squash or make some butternut squash soup, for example. And that is going to blunt some of those effects of the salts in your diets.
All right, fats.
Yes.
There is such a thing as a good fat.
Exactly. In the past they used to say low fat. Now they're finding it's really the type of fat that's important. So here we have monounsaturated fats as in olive oil, as well as omega-3s that you can find in salmon, nuts, as well as chia seeds, for example.
Okay, you've got the barbells at the end of the table here. Exercise, you can't get away from that.
Yeah, exercise is important not only for weight management, but also stress reduction. You don't have to always think weights and gym and everything like that. We live in San Diego, you can go hiking, there's many things that you can do. You want to aim for about 30 minutes of exercise a day. Doesn't have to all be at one time.
And so, can you really make a huge difference in your blood pressure number just by making these changes? I mean, can it really be significant?
Absolutely. They really say that diet and lifestyle changes are the first line of defense in treating hypertension. And even with exercise, adding about 30 minutes, like I said, can lower your systolic numbers by a couple of points. So it really can have dramatic difference.
Jessica Spiro, great tips. We'll have information to your website on the KUSI website. Right now, Alan, back to you.